Hi everybody, Zach here for another episode of our flagship program, The Spideydude Experience. This episode is brought to you by our loyal patrons over at patreon.com/Spideydude Network. Pledge today and get both early access to content on the main channel, as well as entirely exclusive content, like brand new shows and commentaries for old Spidey stuff, including commentaries for the MTV series, for example, as well as the video editions for Voices from the Eyrie Gargoyles Podcast. And our Patreon first show focused on the Krakoan era of X-Men. We also want to encourage you to check out our other programs that are all available on Audio Edition. These are all over on Spideydude.com, and they're available on your favorite podcasting app. Shows like Clone Saga Chronicles, the show that started this entire network, Spectacular Radio, Spectacular Sal Buscema era podcast, Amazing Spider-Man Classics, the Slot Symposium, and the sister program on this channel, Make Mine Mayday. As always, be sure to hit the like button. It really does help us big time in the algorithm. And additionally, if you have topics you'd like to cover on a live show or in a recorded medium, make sure to leave a comment down below the description or shoot us an email at SpideyDudeRadioNetwork@gmail.com. Finally, make sure to join our community. Be alerted to all new updates by hitting that subscribe button and clicking on the bell. But to be clear, your viewership is more than enough for us. And if you want to hang out with us off YouTube, you can always go to our Discord, where we have all sorts of fun stuff, or you can join us on our social medias and follow us there. All the links are down in the description below. As always, we want to be making some references to visual aids and or live comments. If you're an audio listener, pay that no mind, but leave that 5-star review for us. Any and all feedback we will read on future episodes. Thank you, and without further ado, let's get rolling with this episode of the Spideydude Experience. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Spideydude Experience. I am Zach Joyner. This is another spectacular Spideydude Experience, and I am always joined by my compadre, the former host of the Spectacular Radio Podcast, as well as the host of Voices from the Eyrie Gargoyles Podcast, Mr. Greg XB. Hello, Greg.
Once again, Zach, I am the co-host of Voices from the Eyrie.
Excuse me, co-host of Voices from the Eyrie. I'm sorry, Jen, don't kill me. I apologize.
Nah, she killed me earlier today, so.
The undead version of Greg is here, thanks to Jen. Hello, Jen, out there. I know you may be watching. I don't know. We got Sarah in the house. Hello, Sarah. She's got a avatar of the Scarlet Spider, I think, from the game. So, or
nice.
One or the other. And the stalwart of the Spideydude Experience himself, Adam. Welcome back, Adam.
Hello.
Hello, Adam.
We got Vinkman in the house. We got Walter trying to troll me in the comments because it's Walter. You'll see him on the ASM episode. We're going to have a lot of fun with the 2 issues we're covering next week.
Good fun or bad fun? I haven't read ASMs in years, but I only checked in that one time to watch Peter and Norman play hot potato with the Green Goblin personality. I am not letting that go. I've seen a lot of stupid things in a Spider-Man comic, but that was in the top 5.
Yeah, well, they're trying not to make Norman Osborn as magnificently evil in the new cartoon. By the way, apparently I was wrong. That is Sarah in cosplay, and 10 out of 10, my dear. 10 out of 10. I love that.
You know, I still haven't seen the new Spider-Man cartoon. Maybe I will check it out. I just haven't sat down to watch it yet.
Well, I mean, next week is, I think, the 2-part or 3-part finale. So
already?
So what they did was, week 1, they did the first 2 episodes. Week 2, they released 3 more episodes. Week 3, they released 3 more episodes, and then next week they're going to release the last episodes, the remaining part of the season. I think it's because the way the schedule worked out, they wanted it to be out completely before the new Daredevil starts in March.
People can watch 2 different shows.
I know, but it's just how the Disney Plus gods decided to do it. I don't get it myself, but
it seems like they wanted an hour. Maybe because they're 20 minutes ish.
Yeah, it's like an hour.
So it's basically like 3 episodes, 2 to 3 episodes at a time. That's an hour. That's 40 minutes an hour. That's like a drama, usual drama show coming out.
If you had, if you had it on like terrestrial television, it'd be probably 40 to 45 minutes for commercials, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Anyway. Weird, but
Remind me to discuss your definition of fun sometime.
I get that reference.
So, okay. We are going to talk a little bit about, I am going to talk a little bit about Marvel Legends because we did find out, thanks to somebody going, hey, how much is the stupid thing going to be? Because tomorrow, the Maximum Series Spider-Man that was teased during the last live stream is going to go up for pre-order at noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern on all the fan channel retailers, so like GameStop, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Shop, as well as it will be available on Amazon. So if you're an Amazon person, you can get it via Amazon as well. So it will be, we also found out the price. It's going to be $49.99. As somebody that has, this is not the actual one. No. As somebody that has import toys, I get what they're trying to do because the value of it is similar to what what you would pay for an import. However, it is going to be the most expensive single carded release in Legends. And so it's a little disappointing. I was hoping it would be, $40 would be kind of more the speed, but
because it's Spider-Man and they know they'll get it.
Yeah, we're paying the Spider-Man tax. I think
Yeah.
which is a legitimate thing, because we've been talking about that too, about how there's no Build-A-Figures.
Yeah, says the guy who just went in on the HasLab Lyle Kaiser.
You are glutton for punishment. Don't wipe out the 12-inch. That is a 6-inch Scarlet Spider, sir. It's not a 12. And Sarah's like, ew. She is drawing the line. Obviously, Neil, Thrifty Neil, does not understand why people would spend $50 on it.
Neil, a lot of people.
Yeah, it's gonna probably it'll sell out on Pulse, probably, which is so stupid. I don't know why they do that. It's a pre-order
to create the illusion of scarcity.
I know. It's like, how many especially if it's a popular figure, it's going come on.
You're gonna find it in Target.
Yeah. So, and I'll be honest,
$75 in comic shops.
Yeah, probably $75. Yeah, in a comic shop. That's a lot of Fireball. Depends on the size of the bottle, kind sir. Depends on the size of the bottle. That's what she said. Anyway, but yeah, that's the little bit of Marvel Legends news. Oh God. I can hear the Joker laughing from here at that stupid pun. Somebody tweeted tweet like it's 2008, and I was like, okay, so I'm gonna go back and look at what comics were doing at 2008, at around this time, and then I realized it was Brand New Day, the introduction of Menace and Jackpot, and I was like, oh, son of a bitch. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
And we were waiting for Spectacular Spider-Man. Had it ever premiered? No, I think it was about to premiere, and that turned out to be a oasis in the desert.
Yeah, I remember being very critical of the preview art and being happy to be wrong. Never been more. I don't think I've been more happy to be wrong, and that was the most happy I was to be wrong until Miles Morales, and then I was happy to be wrong about Miles.
Good.
Speaking of, you can pre-order the Miles Morales figure that has his OG comic. It is now available for pre-order. So
I might do that. I haven't decided. I've got a Miles figure that I like, and I'm pinching pennies a little bit more lately.
I mean, yeah, you gotta go buy another fucking HasLab.
Lyle Kaiser. Jinx.
Jinx. I mean, damn. Are you going to have the space for it? Is the question.
I know exactly where it's going.
Your basement is just slowly you're gonna have to get another whole rack.
Well, I've recently sold about 500 $8 worth of figures.
Wow.
I mean, the
so I can get a loan from you for this pre-order.
I already paid bills with it.
Oh, okay. Well, wow, doing a responsible thing. Good job, Greg. I paid bills today, and I cried a little bit.
I paid bills on Friday while suffering from food poisoning. I had a bad clam on Thursday night, and Friday was terrible, but that was payday. I had to pay bills, or some due that day. So imagine doing that while you're writhing in agony.
Yeah, you're the one that got the bad clams. Poor you. Don't make it sound like an ad read if we're not getting paid to do the. You can get your toys at.
That being said, we are totally for sale.
I am totally open to have an ad read being done on the show. And then the ad-free experience will be on patreon.com/Spideydude Network. Oh, God. Now Walter's jumped over to X, or Twitter. Sorry.
I dead name it. It's still Twitter.
Yeah. X / the art. I love how like the news media were like treating it like Prince, like the website formerly known as Twitter.
I call it that sometimes too.
Yeah. So I am on Blue Sky, by the way, at Spideydude Network on Blue. On
you are.
I finally reset my password and got logged in. So Adam is shaking his head in disgust for those that are audio listeners right now.
I'm not. I'm on Blue Sky with a personal account. I'm not on Twitter with a personal account. Voices from the Eyrie is on both. And before we dive in, our first show of the year is going to come up at the end of the month, the last Thursday or Friday of the month of February. We're covering the episode titled "The Hound of Ulster," and our two guests, Diane Duane and Peter Morwood. If you're a geek who came up in the 80s and 90s, you know who they are.
Yeah, that's awesome. You hadn't announced it, I don't think, the people that were going to be on, so I hadn't said that. But
we have on social media, but not here.
Yeah. So if you read the Venom, is it the Venom? Yeah, it's the Venom
Factor. She wrote two others after that. It was a trilogy.
She did a trilogy. She did the Venom Factor. She did the
Lizard Sanction.
And I think I've got the Lizard Sanction on hardback.
I forget the other one.
And then I think it was Octopus. Something about Octopus.
Yes.
We will so that's going to be one. We may end up doing it. Well, Greg and I have talked about bringing her on this show to talk about those novels. I need to reread them beforehand. So that's going to be something I do. I am working on another interview.
Don't jump the gun. The invite hasn't been made yet.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to put things out there that are not going to happen. I would love to have her on. Because I did read as a kid the Lizard book, and I still think I have it. If not, it's at my dad's house. So yeah, I have to pull it off the shelf and dust it off and crack it open. I haven't read it in a while. I remember it had I think it had Ron Lim art inside of it. So for like the chapters.
Megman has a comment.
She wrote a crap ton of Star Trek novels as well.
Yeah, the Romulan Way is brought up on our episode. Jennifer read that when it came out.
Nice. So yes, the graphics are being updated as we speak. We are getting ready to launch it for season 5. Greg, I sent it to our private chat. I was right. It was Ron Lim. So Neil, we have a new season 5 graphic with a new stylized version of the Spideydude experience, which I'm very, very, very excited about. And let's just say Neil cooked. So I figured I would wait for you to be on the program, Neil, before I revealed the graphic. But yes, there'll be some new graphics.
He said, "Tell them about it. Don't reveal it."
Oh, yeah, that's true. So, but yeah, I'm not going to reveal it here. I teased it on the social medias a little bit. So, yeah.
And by
Greg and Neil.
It always says, well, not right this segment. It always says co-host down there, not host. Don't do that ever again.
I know, co-host of Voices from the Eyrie. I'm so sorry. Feel like I'm having this argument with Brad all over again. Behind the scenes bit, Brad and I used to disagree whether, we were co-hosts or we were panelists. And I'm like, well, okay, to be fair, we're probably panelists on that show. But to me, everyone here is my co-host, including Adam. All right. So any other as I pull up the issue for tonight. So yeah. Adam, any thoughts on what we've been talking about? You've been awful quiet. You've been keeping yourself muted.
I mean, I like that figure.
Yeah.
$50. I don't know, perhaps, but who knows? The only thing I don't really like about it too much is the Peter head, and that's I think because the eyes are too. If the eyes were darker, I think it would look better, but the eyes are too bright, so he looks unhinged.
Yeah. All right.
That's Peter just before getting into bed with Michelle Gonzalez in a very dated joke.
Yeah.
Oh, my. If we're talking about it, that would be tweet like it's 2009. If I was tweeting like it was 2009, because that was well after the first year, I think. All right, so Spectacular Spider-Man 12 was released on
last week,
February 5th, 2025. Let me pull the cover up.
The day before I got food poisoning.
You poor bastard. All right, so I've actually got both the covers because they did have them up on Marvel.com. Oh, well, let's try that again. So I did pull up the cover. I think the regular cover was done by Stefano Caselli. Or no, David Baldion. I'm sorry. David Baldion. I was wrong.
The Electros cover? That's a good cover.
That's a great cover. I love David Baldion, man.
Yeah, he's really good.
I mean, this book has mostly had some really good art all the way around.
Yeah. There's been a couple of bits where it's not been. This is the variant cover, which was done by
cool
Alessandro Capuccio.
I haven't seen that one yet.
That's a nice one.
I like it.
Yeah, I dig it. Looks good. Which it's got squinty eyes Miles, which I'm not on the new Miles figure. That's the one thing I don't love about it. Is like the eyes are real squinty, which so let me change the layout right quick so everybody can be seen on the screen. All right, so is Miles in this book? Yes, Miles is in this book.
Yeah,
I was about to say Miles Warren was arrested a few issues ago. Where have you been?
Miles Warren and Miles Morales, although he hates the Clone Saga, so I don't even know why we're friends at this point. So I'm just kidding, Walter. All right, so it is Strange Love, Chapter 4, Hero Worship, written by Greg Weisman. Emilio Lasso has been the artist. Color artist is Edgar Delgado, and who also did the colors on the David Baldion cover. And then the variant cover was Mata Incanado was the color artist on it. So, and VC's Joe Caramanga, who is the stalwart of all of the Spider line. That man has to type a lot of word bubbles. So, all right. We have a split screen situation where we have on one side Curtis Connors, on the other side Martha Connors. And they're both talking, imploring to someone to help get Billy back.
Hold on a second. Now, you're looking at now. What you're seeing is now. We're at now. Points if you get that reference.
We cut to then, where we have the Fantastic Four, or at least you got Ben Grimm, with the recent release of the trailer, by the way. So
looking trailer, we'll see. I have hopes.
Peter is trying to convince everybody that his version of it, his latte is called the Parker, and Ben is just not amused by it at all. So turns out we got Fu Manchu Johnny, which I don't know why that amuses me so much that Johnny has a Fu Manchu, but it's just the current status quo. I've heard the new Fantastic Four book is actually really good. I just haven't caught up on it. So
He's prepping for his Mandarin cosplay. Actually, no, Johnny, that would be Yellowface. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. Oh God, I got a voicemail coming my way apparently. So anyway, the Johnny is kind of helping her with the fire powers because Elementary is being helped by Ben as well, and then Ario, who I'm not sure. Arrow. Oh yeah.
And Wave. I don't know who either of them are.
Wave was the one that we were introduced to in the previous issue or issue before last. So
yeah, I remember that, but I still don't know who they are. I remember her being in this book, but I don't know. I'm sure it was explained to me and I forgot.
There was a bit of a humorous moment where Ben throws this, grabs this giant boulder, and Elementary catches it. And Peter asked the pertinent question, what if she hadn't had the strength to do that, Ben? And then Ben's like, oh, sorry. Neil, if you want to come in and explain who Ario is for a brief
moment. No, it's all right. It's all right. I'll just listen to it again.
So, like I say, she then uses the catchphrase, it's clobbering time, smashes the things, and then we kind of go back to where Elementary and Miles and Peter are having a bit of a conversation about what it means to be a hero. And Lady's purse gets stolen, and sure enough, the Spider Boys and Elementary end up apprehending the guy. And we go back to the coffee bean where
Turk again. That was Turk they captured.
So you got Turk. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Turk was the one that captured. So Kenny and Shelly and Max are all getting these digital orders for a Parker. He's like, "What's a Parker?" Because Peter mentioned it. So she's showing off her powers, and Anna is so happy for Juliet, and so. We also have Black Mask and Shashan sitting with Peter and Miles, kind of being a little worried that she's falling more for, she's having a hard time separating her feelings for Anna. And so, yeah, they're having a little bit of a back and forth here. We get the 9-panel grid, which is kind of funny, because we have Kamala and Sally talking with Peter, and then we have Anna and such talking until Ricky Lund, aka Anna's girlfriend, shows up, and it looks a little awkward. And so we cut to now. The lights get shut off. The Electros show up, and then they're continuing to fight. They seem to disable the spiders pretty quickly, and more of a fight ensues. Elementary shows up, tries to do the same thing she did last time. Didn't turn out nearly as well. She gets turned into a complete puddle, and then all of a sudden we see who Kurt and Martha were talking to. It's the disembodied version of the Lizard. Da, da, da.
Which Zach had to explain to me on the phone the other day, because I had no idea. I had no idea this was his current status quo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So the Lizard shows up.
There you go.
There we go. All right.
There we go. And he's on the cover for next issue, I believe.
Yes, he is. Issue 13. Oh, did I say Nighthawk?
He said Black Mask.
Mask.
That's a Batman villain.
Yeah.
My bad. It's the bad luck of the Christmas tree. I need to take it down.
Yeah, geez, it's February, man.
I know. Kelly was giving me hell. So second off, me love a book where a character just steps into electrified water. Yeah.
You don't get that gag much anymore.
Womp womp.
I do want to point out something. I do have an initial thought. There's that moment where Ben Grimm says that Elementary might be one of the most powerful beings he's ever encountered. And
Right.
when you introduce a new character and you say something like that,
Yeah.
especially in a world like this, that has the potential to be very cringeworthy. So I think it's
Yeah.
helped by the fact that she has the potential to have a lot of power, but she didn't take down the Electros here. She
Sure. That's a
messed
good
up in the
point.
process of doing that. So I think that alleviates that. I mean, someone's potential doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean that they're going to all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God.
At least they shouldn't be. I mean, because well, we've seen that happen very often. There's too much. Let's introduce a new character. Oh, they're very powerful. Let's make them as impressive as possible so you can, and then you go out and buy their action figure. And Neil understands this because, like me, he's a Transformers fan. And when a new Transformer character gets introduced, they're usually uber powerful for their first 2 appearances. And then by the 6th time they show up, they're being taken down like normal people who've been there since day 1.
Yeah. So like, even though like we're telling, but by showing, I agree with that. I do agree with the notion that you're saying here.
I mean, I'm sure some people are going to have a problem with it anyway because it's the internet, and let's be honest, with some people, it's a female character they're saying that about, but...
Oh, boy. I'm so sick of that toxic douchebaggery.
So am I. Now, that being said, it's a very strong statement, and... But again,
Yeah, no,
like I said, it could have gone in a different direction.
Yeah.
It didn't. We'll see, and we'll see if this character continues to grow and develop. I mean, I'm enjoying her so far. So,
yeah. Look, I think her jubilance. There's a bit of naivete, obviously, and that's what Peter and Miles are definitely worried about. She's kind of taken, like in this arc, she's definitely taken a more starring role, and I think that may be some of the criticism I think people have had maybe about it. Because it feels like it's the Spider Boys plus Elementary.
My only criticism of it, really, I guess the issue as a whole is that it's just there are so many characters, and because we've talked about this before, but in this, like, we just get. I feel like I don't know if we really need to get her being trained by so many other random cameo heroes, and then have Squirrel Girl show up for a panel. Like,
I forgot about Squirrel Girl showing up.
Yeah,
that's
The most powerful.
That's like the big con of the book for me.
Yeah,
I tend to like large casts, like the way he juggles large casts. But even I think, okay, you're kind of pushing it a little bit here. I mean,
and even
we need everybody. I mean, I like the FF being there. I like.
Oh yeah, I mean, I honestly that was like that I would keep because that's actually kind of fun. I don't know.
And I definitely liked it in the previous issues when they're still trying to figure out what exactly she is. So
sure. But I just don't know if we need to see more of her training per se. I feel like we've gotten enough of that over the past
2 issues.
The arc, yeah.
So I think we got there because they wanted Ben to have that line, then they wanted her to kind of wipe out against the Electros.
I do like that overall. Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like we're gonna have Lizard be kind of more of a starring role here, the next 2 issues at least. Yeah. But apparently Walter has now sent a voicemail for the 3 of us, so I've gotten the first 2.
Uh-oh.
And then
well, while you're pulling that up, I mean, I do like seeing the use of some of the lesser villains in this book. I mean, I don't know if you listen to Bertone's Spectacular Spider-Man podcast, which he does each issue with Greg Weisman, like we do with Voices from the Eyrie. But at one point, Greg said that he doesn't think they're ever going to let him have Green Goblin or Doc Ock for this book, because those are for the A book. So he's having a lot of fun with the B-list villains. And you know what? I'm perfectly fine with that also, because Green Goblin and Doc Ock are fantastic. They're the top 2 villains for a reason, but we love these guys too. We love our lizards. We love our Electros.
Electro and Lizard are viable threats, and they're classic villains. So that's I mean, it's not quite as good as Green Goblin and Doc Ock, but it's it's almost as good. It's still pretty good.
And I still think the way that Jackal was used in the early issues is really good too.
Yeah, I agree. I do like the I did like the first arc.
Me too.
So, like I say, for me, this set of issues, this issue, excuse me, I liked. We kind of talked about last issue how like I was like jumping back and forth.
That I will say, I'm still kind of having a problem with that.
But I felt like in this issue, it was really well done. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of
by doing the split screening of it, so to speak.
Split screen was fine, but I don't know. Like
we're at now.
I just think for me, it's kind of the fact that it's cutting away to more training stuff, which I don't know if we need too much more of that right now.
I will say,
I feel like we could honestly be moving, because it feels like it's kind of dragging the plot a bit, and like, we could have more, because like we don't get the Electros until like almost the last 5 pages of the book.
Yeah.
So
I will say this. I'm hoping this is the last of the training montages.
Right. Yes. I think she's solidified her powers for the most part.
Yeah. So
yeah, it feels like we're about to climax this particular arc. We've got, assuming if the trade's going to be another 5 issues. This is 13, 14. Well, we've got 3 more issues.
Yeah, we got 3 more issues. Yeah, for the trade.
Yeah, I can't count today.
So we've got 3 more parts. So I think we're on the rising action of the arc, right? And then we're gonna kind of fall into the once we get to the climax, we'll get to the falling action and the repercussions. I do love I just love the setting, man. I love that being on the coffee bean. I love that Peter accidentally goes viral because the FF show.
That is a good gag.
That was like a great gag for me. And even like Anna was like, "Have you tried the Parker? It's really pretty great. Want to try it?" I also I kind of dig the relationship drama now that we've kind of gotten to know Elementary that way, and so like she's not even trying to make moves on the girl, but like it's looking like she's trying to make moves on the girl. So I think that's yeah.
I think we've all been there during our more awkward phases of life.
Yeah,
we can relate to that.
Yeah. Yeah, we can. Neil has a thought. The mystery of what Elementary is still hasn't been solved. I think what Weisman's obsession with mysteries being the backbone of his arcs is what's causing the pacing to falter. So he can be drip-fed more clues. Ironically, the most important training for Elementary was either dismissed or interrupted. Yeah. That is somewhat true.
Gamer Sly Ratchet, hello.
Hey, what's up? Is that who is that? Is that your friend Neil, or is that somebody else?
I've seen him around the boards for various message boards and forums for several years, so I'm familiar with him.
So he's like a old friend, like on the internets. What's up, gamer Sly Ratchet? No, somebody else. Okay. Oh no.
Which one is Imani Green again? Again, there was a time.
Was that the one with the eye patch and the?
Yeah, I think so.
There was a time when I lived and breathed all of this. I had an encyclopedic knowledge of a lot of things Marvel, most things Marvel, but
okay. So
what happened to me? What happened to me?
Pearl is, aka Wave, as she's from Starbrand and Night Mask. Okay.
Right. I need to read.
Also,
I need to reread that book because, like, we're missing.
So does Bertone. Bertone says that in his podcast every issue. Also, I've got to reread that book.
He's making references to it.
I've got the trade. I need to reread it.
So I think, yeah, you have the trade, bro. I have to get it off Unlimited. So, But yeah. Anyway, so
Well, Larson, anyway, another interesting tidbit. And remember last time we were talking about Elementary's costume and how we hope it eventually gets a change? Apparently, on Bertone's podcast, Greg also said that it's supposed to be a basic starting costume. And if the character continues to move forward and develop, he would like to see her get something a little bit more.
it's like a training costume. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly what we thought it was.
I really like the artwork in this issue.
Me too.
It feels like
it's really good.
It feels like Lieso is finally like now he's getting to cook and he's not having to do fill in.
Yeah.
He's kind of been given the space to breathe a little bit.
This image here of the two Spideys juxtaposed with the two Electros, take out the Texas to make a great poster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There are a lot of good Spidey shots in this. There's a lot of good expressions and body language and some nice layouts.
I do like Francine, she's still like, I shouldn't like this character. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that she's not the only Electro, I think probably makes me like her more. Because
them teaming up is good.
Yeah, to me, like them being like Bonnie and Clyde Electro style.
Sure.
Bonnie and Clyde 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a low hanging fruit of a joke. I'm sorry.
Well, you set it up pretty well.
But to me, them working together, I think, is fun. And juxtaposed with the two Spider-Man, I think it's fun. I think I just want. Oh, come on, Sarah. That was funny. Sarah's giving a disapproving no, Zach, no in the comments for our audio listeners. And but I think the artwork's really good. I love his lizard. Like his feral lizard looks pretty cool.
I'm looking at it right now.
Probably my least favorite page. I'll say this: my least favorite probably page is the first page with Martha, with the way her tongue is. That's just a little weird because she's speaking, right?
I tend to agree, but I also tend to think it's because I probably hate the entire notion of Lizard Martha to begin with, which is not this book's fault, but that's just Martha's Connors' current status quo that they were left to deal with.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts. That's been going on for
alive at this
years.
Point. We haven't seen
since 2016.
It's been like 8 years. I'm assuming Billy's alive, and
so wait, has it been almost as long that she's been Lizard Martha? That because she died like what 2002
in the Jenkins run.
Yeah, and then
oh damn.
And so then like she was dead, and then they brought her back via clone shenanigans, and then they made her lizard people to as a stabilizing agent for the clone shenanigans, and that's how it's been ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Walter, I'm not pulling that comment up, sir. Talking about her tongue.
Hey, the world is a rich tapestry.
Wait, does that make Martha one of the lizard people like the Queen of England was?
Yes.
I shouldn't be bringing that conspiracy theory up. I do that as a joke, ladies and gentlemen. It's a joke.
For the people in the back.
Yeah, for the people in the back.
Also, again, and this lines up how out of it touch I am with current Spidey comics. This is my first time ever seeing this Shay Markin character.
Oh, yeah. We get Shay showing up.
Hope it's everything you were promised it would be.
I do love how the question mark's on there, though. That Shay's like Peter's girlfriend.
Well, yeah, we don't really know about that since what just happened in ASM, so
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
I'll be honest. I kind of want to see Sally and Peter get together. Like,
Yeah, but how old is Sally? I just realized, like,
so I think she was aged. I think she's aged up.
okay.
Clearly, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think that she's 16 because that would be awkward.
Hopefully not.
You know, I would be behind that. The first thing we ever see Peter Parker do is ask Sally Averill out on a date and get rejected. So you know what? Let's see it happen. Let's see it happen. This is a long time legacy character. Let's see it happen. And yes, I do still hear the voice from Spectacular Spider-Man, Sally Averill, when I read this, but she's matured. She's a nicer person.
Should I attempt to pull a Bertone?
No.
Okay.
No.
Love how there's supposed to be broken up per 8 deaths, but also Peter calls Sally out in his little black book on a date. Maybe this book is weird. I think this actually takes place before 8 deaths.
Well, yeah, of course it does.
So, like, canonically.
But also, I mean, I'm assuming he's just like, hey, I want to reconnect with this person from high school that I haven't
That's what
seen
it is. It's
in
not
years.
a date. He didn't call her up for
Yeah.
a date. I mean,
Now, if
Neil,
if
I
it
love
was,
him, and I'm going to say this because I see this out there on forum land. Just because you're in a relationship with someone of the opposite sex doesn't mean you can't have other friends or connect with people of the opposite sex. I don't get this whole if he looks at someone else, he's not committed to his relationship thing. I see, and again, and Neil, I don't mean to single you out. I love you, Neil. You know that, but I see this on other forums to the point where I'm thinking, what the hell is wrong with our society if so many people think this way?
You're not wrong there. Good, sir. Well, look, I mean,
overall, it would be more interesting if he was dating Sally than Shay.
It would be. Granted, I don't know who Shay is. I find that I don't care to know.
There's not that much to her, honestly.
She works at Ravencroft. That's pretty much the entirety of her character.
Okay, is there a giant hate campaign against her like there was directed at Carly Cooper for
not
many years?
like that. It's more like people are just kind of people aren't into it, but there's not really the push is like not as the push for the character isn't quite like how it was for Carly. It's a lot more.
Yeah,
it's not,
dude.
It's not.
It's kind of like a whatever. Like it's just a casual thing, and they're not really putting too much into it, but they're kind of dating. So it's like, and people are like, "Oh, who cares?" And they don't necessarily like it, but
it's one of those.
Marry Paul.
Eventually.
Oh God.
I honestly don't care about the whole Paul thing. I only know about it mostly through the drama that was inspired by it. I mean, with the memes,
even that is like that. It's kind of baffling that they're still going with that based on the past 2 years, but it's one of those things that eventually I think it'll just fade away.
People don't hate Shay, but the anger is more towards Paul as love buffer 1, and Shay is more secondary inconvenience.
Makes sense.
That's what Neil says in the chat.
Neil, I dig your Cyclops user pick. Or avatar, or whatever it's called.
That is his avatar, and he drew that, I think.
Awesome. So, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's an artist of multiple ways.
Talented.
He's very talented. Far more talented than I'll ever be. Hang on.
Audio listeners, this part will be edited. And Zach's on mute.
I was trying to see if the voicemails were working, and I forgot I hadn't downloaded the third one, so that's on me. All right, so freaking everybody gets a voicemail. you get a voicemail, and you get a voicemail, and I get a voicemail. So we'll play the voicemail here in just a second. And as soon as I get it put into the hopper.
I'm going to have to try one of these Parkers at some point. Next time I go to my favorite coffee shop, I'm going to ask for this.
Huh. Might as well.
Life's too short to not. Come on. Where'd it go?
While you're doing that, I'm just scrolling through the issue again, admiring the artwork, and there's Johnny with his mustache again. And I do love that page, though. Mustache aside, all the flames while Johnny trains elementary.
All right.
But it's always a delight to see any members of the Fantastic Four in a Spider-Man comic.
Yeah. So I got the first two voicemails pulled up. Let's listen. Let's listen into Walter.
Hello, Greg, the co-host from Voices of the Eyrie. How you doing tonight? You look absolutely fantastic. Amazing that you and New Yorker are smiling, happy, and go lucky attitude with the world's worst pizza ever known to man.
Shooting strays
Welcome to my sphere of trolling, Greg. And this is all because of the wonderful producer of the Spideydude Radio Network, Zachary Joyner.
I have to ask, have you ever eaten... Oh.
All right.
I have to ask, have you ever eaten California pizza? You want to try the worst pizza in the world? California pizza.
Ah. All right.
Don't you feel lucky now, Greg?
Kinda.
All right, the last bit.
You guys real soon.
All right, so that's the first voicemail. Now we are at the second voicemail. I believe this is aimed at Adam.
Hello, Greg, the co-host from...
Oh, no! It's the same voice. Womp, womp, womp. Podcast fail. Oh, hang on. Open. Okay.
Sarah Pizzo saying in the comments, wait, you can leave voicemails to troll you guys? Apparently.
Yeah, Walter does it all the time.
Yeah, you can absolutely leave voicemails.
Zach is practically begging people to leave voicemails, and then Walter was like, challenge accepted, and now we can't get rid of him. And now he's even on the show.
Hello, Greg.
Oh, damn it. No, I don't want that one. This is the other one. And Walter is laughing his ass off maniacally.
Hello,
Sarah
Greg.
Pezzo wants to know how. Someone get her the phone number.
818-925-6631. That's
on the screen right now. It's scrolling by.
It is scrolling on the screen as we speak. 818-925-6631 is the voicemail line if you want to leave a voicemail live on the show. Can I at least play Jeopardy? No, because then I'll get copyright struck. I can't play the voice. I can't play that. So, all right. Anyway, here we go. Download. What the fluff? All right, hang on. Here, I'll see if I can play it just through this. Can you guys hear this?
No.
Nope.
Okay. All right, and then Google Voice was not wanting to work at all.
I think Walter owes us some super chats for this.
Walter, don't go crazy. All right. We're not talking about me having a stroke. Okay. Open. All right. So then we got. All right. This is the Adam one, I think.
Hey, Adam, how you doing, buddy? Are you doing okay tonight? That you get to read an actual good comic comic that you sorry, hairball. You get to read an actual good comic like the Spectacular Spider-Man that you enjoy. I'm sorry I can't enjoy that comic with you because I'm not a big fan of Miles Morales. I find Miles Morales annoying, just like Cowboy fans. Oh, there's Mr. Joyner. Well, enjoy the show, Adam, and hopefully you enjoy the book.
This was before we got really started, for the record.
Thanks, Walter.
All right. So then we have what will not probably be the last voicemail tonight because Sarah is going to probably call. All right. All right. Here we go. Open that one. All right. So this one's apparently directed at me.
Why are we friends, Mr. Joyner? Why? I'll tell you why. Now try to do it under 3 minutes. 1, I'm a nice guy. 2, I spent about $200 on a certain outfit. Just for you, buddy. Just for you.
I'm terrified about this.
And 3, my green screen came in. So basically, let me do my Shatner voice for you. Basically, I'm trying to tell you that you should be afraid. Very, very afraid. Oh boy, you don't know what you just stepped into. Oh, Neil, get the fireball out from underneath the desk because you may need to take a couple swigs from it.
Oh boy.
Have a good night. This is the last one. Don't worry.
One of these days, Greg Weisman is going to listen to his podcast, and he's going to get to these, and he's going to wonder, what the fuck?
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. Zach's being a boomer about voicemails. Apparently, Sarah needs fireball after this. Feels like the show is being held hostage.
So, Greg, if you ever listen to this, well,
I'm sorry.
The show is being held hostage by a friend of the show. Let's just say that.
Great supporter of the show. Now, Sarah, if you're leaving a voicemail, you got to let me know because we're probably going to be wrapping up here shortly. Speaking of voicemails, you can always leave us a voicemail at... Oh, I got the banner somewhere. Voicemail line, 818-925-6631. If you want to leave us a voicemail to talk about any and all shows here on the Spideydude Radio Network.
Are we going to do grades after this?
Yes. You can always leave us a voicemail. Apparently, no, Sarah is not going to leave us a voicemail tonight because she can't top Walter's voicemails. I don't think it's a level of topping, Sarah. Getting to hear from you would always be wonderful.
We might want to actually hear something pleasant.
Shots fired. Oh, shit. Mr. Weisman, if you're listening to this episode, I am so sorry. Oh, boy. All right. Let's go through, speaking of, while I have the banner page open up. Adam, what is your grade for this book?
I'll give it a B-, I think.
that was the last grade you gave on the show was a B-.
Oh, really?
I
think I was gonna go lower, but I was like, I think it's. I mean, the art is so good, so
yeah. Mr. Bishansky, what is your grade?
A. I've really enjoyed it. I enjoy what this is all seems to be building towards. I love the art. I like the large cast. I like the way he juggles the large cast. I understand it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's a discussion that it's had on for a lot of the things he does, whether it's Gargoyles, Young Justice, but I like these large casts. I like these large sprawling worlds. It's so I'm enjoying them. I enjoy, again, the art is terrific. The fight sequences are terrific. I was really happy to see the lizard again, despite my confusion about certain things. Because again, if the way I see it, if I'm confused about something in this book, it's not really the book's fault. It's the fact that I haven't touched mainstream Spider-Man comic books in a very long time. So I don't know who Shay is. I don't know that the lizard is separated from Kurt Connors. But I saw that and I figured, okay, something is up. Because we've all been reading comics for decades. We know what the score is.
If there was an after show chat, I would like a few words from Mr. Greg. Sarah gives it a B. Neil gives it a C. And I give it a B+. So Daisy gives it a incomplete because she's, just hanging out in the background there, looking out the window. For our audio listeners, my dog's right here. Okay, so we have another voicemail. Ladies and gentlemen. Sarah decided to grace us with her presence via voicemail. So hopefully this will cooperate. Maybe it won't. Maybe I have to do what I did before, which is I had to exit out and then exit back in. So downloading. There we go. All right.
Neil says in the chat, Daisy is a dog and therefore does not have critical, literary, and analytical skills. Well, neither do most fanboys. Whoa, cool colors. Man fall down and go boom.
Oh my
Rabbit
God.
Man step in doo doo. Funny,
Greg. Oh my God.
Yes, Vankman, we know Zach is boomerang again.
Yep, I'm boomering again. That's fine. All right, here we go.
Hey, it's Sarah. I said I would leave a voicemail, so here it goes. Thank you so much for the show. I am not always able to tune in on Wednesdays, but when I'm able to, it's always a great time. So thank you for all that you guys do. Have a good night, guys. Bye.
Aw.
Thank you,
Sarah.
Oh,
That's so
done.
That's how it's done. Big hearts. Big hearts for Sarah. Thank you so much. 2 hours later, we get Zach's voicemail. Yeah. There's Neil's comment. Sarah's laughing maniacally. Zach's boomering again. Thanks, Vinkman. Sarah. So here's the thing. If you leave voicemails before the show, I can have them pre-set up. But trying to do it on the fly without a producer is not easy. If it was so easy, why don't you do it? I'm just kidding. All right.
Yeah.
So, if you're watching us live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, thank you guys for watching us live. I am also I kind of talked about this a little bit on the Make My Mayday episode, but what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start, after the show stream goes off, I'm going to stream it to the other platforms that we used to stream to. So if you're on like Facebook or everything like that, yes, I know what you need.
Hey,
then
I'll say one thing. I know one thing the show needs, and no offense to you, Zach, Neil needs to be on every show because clearly when he's not, it's chaos. We're unfocused and no one knows how to play voicemails.
Well, the problem is that nobody can play the voicemails but me. So
yes, but he will cover up the other stuff.
Yeah. So Neil,
We were fairly focused.
yeah, it wasn't that chaotic. I mean, we got a great hour of programming here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
There
speaking
are shows where we
I
go
will say
totally
this.
off the rails.
I will say this. I actually really did miss having Neil and Ashley both on the show.
Oh, well,
I feel the conversations are richer with them here.
yeah. So,
which is no offense to any of the three of us, but the more the merrier.
well,
Sure.
Ashley's prettier than all three of us, and then Neil. Well, he can be insightful when he's not.
Neil is younger than all of us, so
Yeah.
And Neil is a very intelligent younger person, and I'm not just saying that because he runs things, but no, I've always been very impressed with the guy.
Yep. And then you got Walter, who's just apparently he's going to dress up in some sort of costume for the ASM episode, and I'm a little terrified.
Well, I won't be there because I'm not reading the book.
You can watch us live here on Wednesdays. All right. So speaking of our Patreons, like Walter and Greg, they help us do everything here on the network. We've got Allison, Cindy, Ed, Eric, Georgia, Greg, Janelle, Jessica, Joyce, Catherine, Kale, Laura Howard, Lumpmoose, Master Drammon, Phoenician, RJ, Vanessa, and Vicky. Thank you guys for your support, as well as Sarah and Tara, and you've got Venkman and Walters, our VIPs. Thank you guys for all your support over on the Patreon page, patreon.com/Spideydude Network. You get exclusive things like the Books of X podcast, which is going to be coming back very soon. Greg, tell us again what's coming up on Voices from the Eyrie.
The Hound of Ulster with our guests Diane Duane and Peter Morwood. It's a really fun conversation, and you both know how Weisman can talk. You've been on podcasts with him. Peter Morwood can also talk. It was like Jennifer and I didn't have to work very hard on this one.
Which is awesome. It'll be the first episode of 2025.
Yeah, so we're really looking forward to that. We're recording the next one, Walkabout, hopefully next week, and so hopefully we'll have 2 in the can and ready to go, and hopefully we'll be back at a regular schedule. That's the plan. That's the current hope. We'll see what happens if life allows it.
Yeah.
And it's a really fun opening. It's terrific. I'm really pimping this one up, and I'm really proud of how this one came out.
Good, and I'm excited for you. We just did a episode of Make My Mayday, episode 62, talking about the Across the Spider-Verse, and kind of talking a lot about fandom. So if you want to hear a very, I believe, insightful, elegant discussion about fandom and what's kind of wrong with not just Spider-Girl fandom, but like fandom in general, I think it was a pretty productive episode. Also, if you want the show to continue, you got to give us some more feedback. So leave feedback over at makemymayday@gmail.com, as well as the Spideydude Radio Network at gmail.com as well. Let us know what you want to see further with Make My Mayday. We got the Slot Symposium going to be coming back very soon to talk a little bit about the next arc in the big time era. So that's going to be exciting. ASM Classics, Clone Saga Chronicles, and Spectacular Radio, obviously part of our Vault series. And the Salby Cinema Era podcast right now is undergoing a coverage of Maximum Carnage. And they are halfway through the event. They've got 7 more issues left to do to finish it out and round out that particular event. God bless them. I was on one of the episodes, so it was a little bit fun to go back and reread those books. As always, you can find us on the social medias. You can find us on Twitter at Spideydude Radio. Everywhere else, like Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, blah, blah, blah. It's at Spideydude Network. On YouTube, if you have not already found us on YouTube and you're listening to the audio edition, you can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/Spideydude Radio Network. And if you want to leave a voicemail like Sarah and Walter did, you can leave us a voicemail at 818-925-6631. I want to thank Adam and Greg for being on the program tonight. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you're watching us live, you're watching us after the fact as well. Thank you guys for watching. And we will see you next time here on the Spideydude Radio Network with our next episode, which is going to be ASM.